Okay, guys, thank you everyone for joining. If you didn't already, go ahead and check out the poll that we sent out. The results are pretty cool. It looks like we have a couple owners joining us today, a couple bartenders and servers. Shout out to Brian, music and entertainment director. That's pretty cool. Pleasure to have you guys. Hopefully we can provide you some value today and some good takeaways so you guys can maximize your revenue during the busy holiday season. So to jump into it, intro myself really quick. My name's Ryland Stanley. I work here at Tap Hunter as a manager. I have a background in sales and leadership, and I also have a background in your industry. I worked as a bartender for about 2 years out here in San Diego. So I'm going to be introing a couple different concepts. For some of you guys, this will be a recap for some information I'm sure you're already aware of. For some of you guys, this might be some really new, fresh content that you can use to your advantage. But in all cases, there should be a lot of value here that you can take away. Let's go ahead and jump next. So things we're going to be talking about today: in-location promotions and ways to ensure your staff's success. We'll also go over a couple online marketing strategies that you can use to drive more business during the busy holidays. And finally, and this is one of the more important topics, is showcasing and building your community online. You can. So, event promotions. Seasonal menu release. All right, so this seems like a pretty obvious one, but surprisingly, a lot of bars and restaurants forget or miss out on seasonal menu release. Like, for instance, holiday-themed cocktail list, holiday food specials, featured items. A personal example of mine is in my hometown, which is a very Navy-heavy town. There's a lot of naval midshipmen who fresh off the ships, who don't really have families to go to, and there's a lot of restaurants in my town that do Thanksgiving dinners over Thanksgiving. Seems pretty obvious, but it's actually one of the busier holidays, the night before and the night of Thanksgiving, for a lot of those restaurants who decide to have turkey-themed menus. Decorating your location. Make your place visually stand out this holiday season and become a destination for photos and fun, especially in an age of social media. You want to encourage people to take pictures and post and engage with your business, and decorating is a great way to do that. And encouraging your staff to dress up as well, making everyone feel included and also making the customer feel like it is an experience when you're walking in. With each season comes an opportunity to switch up your food and drink menus. So depending on what's in season and what your guests are searching for. With each new menu release, an event to celebrate the new items or say goodbye to old items, like for instance, specials. If you know you're gonna rotate a new beer in, maybe put the beer that's waiting to get tapped out on special. See how quickly you can get that thing tapped. Featured menu items. So local brewery does a limited edition release, like if a local brewery comes out with a new brew, or maybe there's local farm specific item that's in season. It's a great way to form not only business to business relationships, but also kind of hype up your menu a little bit. And then charity events. This is one of my favorites. Around Thanksgiving time, doing a canned food drive. Around the end of the year, do a toy drive for Christmas and that holiday. And then you can do a year-round school supply drive, picking a local charity and having an evening where a percentage of your sales goes to support them. And oftentimes they will support that as much and promote that as much as you will. It's a great way to increase sales, and it can be a win-win for both your business and that local charity. And then obviously seasonal beverages and beers, especially beers and cocktails. This really is market to market and depends on what's most popular. Like out here, San Diego is the biggest, we think it's the biggest craft brew area in the United States, but a lot of the companies that we work with are regularly switching their beers depending on what season it is. Promoting your location. Guest bartending, live music, themed happy hours, and themed evenings. So one of my favorite events that I was ever a part of as a guest bartender as a regular bartender, was doing guest bartending. Local bands, if you have a local band that has a nice following local, bring them in for a quick event. Also, local influencers who pour. Not necessarily Instagram influencers, if you're familiar with that style of marketing, but local community members who have a hold on the market. I'll give you an example. When I was a bartender, we invited the head coach of the football team in to guest bartend one night. And all the parents of the football team ended up coming in, and it was a really fun time. The bar did really, really well. The coach wasn't that great of a bartender, but that's not really the point. The point is everyone came in and had a good time, and we actually created some regulars from that event itself. Also bringing in some skilled bartenders who might maybe cost a little bit more, but who have their own crowd and feature some of their own cocktail recipes. Maybe you take a couple cocktails and feature them on your menu regularly. This is good exposure for your bar. It's giving you the opportunity to turn first-time guests into very loyal customers from there on out. Here's another example, flash happy hours. This is becoming easier and easier with more people using social media and turning to social media for food and for drink. Announce a special or a happy hour only on social media. So you can kind of set this up where you're letting some of your patrons and your staff know that, hey, we're going to do a flash happy hour with crazy good specials. We're going to announce it a couple hours before we do it on social media. That encourages people to follow you on your social media accounts. And when you talk about the power of the viral effect on Facebook and how quickly posts can go viral on the other social media streams, it's a great way to build your presence and also create a lot of hype and a lot of enthusiasm around what you're doing. And maybe offer some crazy cool drink specials like, dollar pints or something like that. I don't know. Themed happy hours as well. An idea that Catherine had, who's moderating right now. Shout out to Catherine. She had is tiered specials for a happy hour. And when I say tiered, I mean you get a certain special depending on how much you go, how far you go with that theme. Like for instance, Christmas time, do a candy cane special, and the bigger the candy cane that someone brings in, the better special they get, the better price they get on certain drinks or something like that. Really, or you can do this for Halloween, especially doing costume contests and at the bar manager's discretion. Whoever, if you have a better costume, if you put more work into your costume, you get a better deal, right? It just encourages the engagement around whatever event, which is always a good thing for your bar. Themed evenings as well. An example of this would be dress as your favorite one of the 7 drawers or superhero, or try to dress like your New Year's resolution cliche will be. Community promotions, promoting your location. So promote your event space, reaching out to local businesses, let them know you love to host them for their company holiday party or maybe their family reunion or any event in the future. Also, here's a good idea, gift card promotions. Gift cards are a great way to get people coming back into your restaurant, and a couple ways you can do this over the holiday season. Looking for a quick holiday gift. Maybe if you're looking for a stocking stuffer, Secret Santa, teacher, coach, or client or something like that. Offer half off a cocktail with a purchase of a gift card, over $25 or something like that. And then catering. You can always posture your restaurant and your bar, depending on how confident you are in your menu selection. Posture your bar to promote your kitchen as the holiday expert this season. Boast a special catering menu or pricing. Communicate this as an opportunity to get your guests in for the holidays. Holiday preparation. So it's never too early to prepare. This is a good point for the future as well, not only for this upcoming season, but being mindful of this, thinking ahead to next season. Keep notes on where your sales spike. If you have notes and if you have data to support this in the past, look to your data. Look at what did the best. Look at maybe your special or your event or your competition that you ran a year ago on Christmas or Thanksgiving and see how it did and what adjustments could you make to get a better return this time around. Making sure you're getting your staff in the know as soon as possible. Events, something happening in your community, promote your location as the go-to before or after. When I was in high school, I remember my parents used to go to one of the local bars for a happy hour with all the lacrosse parents when we were in high school because they offered a student athlete's parents special for happy hour where they got a better discount, and they ended up becoming regulars. It's at a local place in Coronado. So I kind of mentioned this and alluded to this earlier, but being aware of which blackout dates you might have in the future for your staff. There's nothing more frustrating as an employee, as a server or bartender, or a host or a busser when you think you're going to have a day off for the holidays and it turns out you have to work. So planning ahead, far enough ahead, is a really, really good move, not only to keep your employees happy, but also make them excited and keep them enthusiastic when they're dealing with their customers. It's hard to expect an employee who didn't think they'd have to work until 2 days ago to come in and be super excited to work with their customers. So planning far enough ahead and making sure you're giving your employees enough time to prepare for the mandatory shifts they might have to work during the busy season, but also holiday events and promotions like costume. Give them enough time to plan ahead to get a good costume or promote the event themselves. Okay, community. Showcasing community. So staff appreciation. I've always found that staff appreciation parties are a great way to drive morale, which tend to drive revenue as well. Staff holiday parties, your staff is a really important reason and a top reason why you have regulars. Let them know how much you appreciate their efforts and don't allow their efforts to go without acknowledgement. Neighborhood shout-outs. Feature a local brewery's IPA in an entree. Connect with that local brewery and say, you guys just rolled out this new beer. We'd love to pair it with this new entree we're rolling out. Create that business-to-business relationship, or maybe a farm fresh or some farm fresh produce as ingredients in a cocktail, like as a garnish. These are some low-cost tactics that can help with cross-promotion and help establish relationships within the local business community, as well as some cool new events that'll drive revenue. Reposting. This is huge. So I'm in the millennial generation, so I know the value of social media. If you don't, I suggest you do some research or reach out to someone who does, because social media can be either your best friend or an enemy. But reposting and re-engaging with any social media content, user-generated content that promotes your bar. For instance, if someone posts a picture and tags your location in their post on Instagram, make sure you comment. If someone posts something about you on Facebook that's positive and that gives you some good feedback, repost it. Repost it yourself. Post really good content. It doesn't take that much effort. It's a very easy strategy. And especially with how many people live on social media these days, being there, offering content and offering engagement where your customers want it is a really good strategy to show your customers that you care. Social media can be hard. We know this. It's not the easiest thing in the world, and it's a very competitive landscape. But guys, there are tools that exist that can make this much easier for you and help you manage this, especially when you're busy. If you'd like suggestions or help, you can leave us a comment here or click the link at the end of this webinar, and we'll have someone give you a shout and maybe do a personalized consultation or talk you through a couple of other unique strategies on how you can use social media as your friend and as an advantage during the busy season. Community. All right, so another slide here on community, building community. Again, using social media, commenting, following new accounts, holiday photo contests. Make sure you're document all the things that you're doing, especially with events and promotions. Create those online relationships that translate into offline income. Utilizing local and holiday hashtags. Hashtags are a great way to connect with people who might not otherwise have found your photo or have associated with your brand. Offer exclusive packages for people who find you online and haven't been to your location yet. First-time customers, out-of-towners, come on in. Let us give you half off your first selection of drinks. Try our new IPA. Buy the local brewer for half off. Form relationships with the hotels and travel agents. It's another good strategy, reaching externally outside of your four walls to create new business relationships. Okay, guys. So to a quick recap and review here. Increasing your bar restaurant sales this holiday season, in-location promotions and ways to ensure your staff's success. For instance, parties, staff appreciation parties, communication with your staff, events, newsletters, engagement on social media. Online marketing strategies to drive more business for the holidays. Online marketing, specifically social media, Instagram. More people are using Instagram for food these days than ever before, making sure you're creating a following and engaging with that following on Instagram and social media. And then showcasing and building your community online. Being very mindful that a lot of consumers these days will make their decisions on if they're coming into your place or someone else's based on what they see online. You might have the best food and the best drinks in town, but if people aren't finding you, or if you're not engaging with them where they're already looking, which is social media, chances are you might not earn their business. So being very cognizant of that. Okay, I think it's time for questions. So feel free to leave any questions if you haven't already, and I'm going to go ahead and scroll through some of these. Let's see. So guys, if you haven't already, feel free to leave some questions and we can get to them right away. Or if you'd like a one-on-one conversation, let us know as well, and we can get someone to reach out to you and have a personal consultation. Another thing we just did is popped in an offer for you guys. Go ahead and click on the link to learn a little bit more about it. So it looks like Kim asked, will you be emailing the slideshow? Yeah, that's going to be available to all of you either the end of business today or early tomorrow, I believe, where you guys can review not only the slideshow but also a recording of this webinar. Thanks for asking, Kim. And Shane, yes, this was available as a PDF as well, right? Yeah, available as a PDF as well. And Shane, if you're looking for a PDF specifically, if what we send you isn't compatible in a PDF form, shoot us an email. We'll make sure we create one in a PDF form to get it to you. Okay, looks like we have a couple more questions here. For John's question about travel agents, it's a really, really good question. It's a little bit more specific. So John, I'm going to follow up with you right after this and have one of our specialists get in touch with you about how to engage with hotels and travel agents for sure. It's a really good question. Maria, it looks like you asked what link you're referring to. I believe on your screen it should be in the top right corner. Is that right, Matt? Top right corner. If you don't see it, feel free to shoot us an email. We can easily get you the link. And then Kira, specifically the Tap Hunter app that you should be revisiting or exploring for the holidays, absolutely. There's a ton of things, a ton of features and cool tools that we offer that we can have one of our product specialists and customer success specialists reach out to you to give you some tips and suggestions on ways to maximize what we can offer to bring you the most profit this season. Kim, it looks like you're interested in learning a little bit more about hotels and travel agents. That's another instance of the question. I can have one of my specialists reach out to you guys. I think it's Kim and John to talk to you guys a little bit more about hotels and travel agents. It's location specific depending on where you are and how touristy, I guess, your location is. And then also a lot of it has to depends on the location you are in the United States. But I can have one of my specialists reach out to you guys and give you a quick little consultation on that if you'd like. What are people? So Megan's asking, what are people doing for staff appreciation parties? Have them offsite or onsite? So in my experience, I've always found that staff appreciation parties onsite are the best, and you can almost turn this into a little bit of a customer appreciation party as well. I'll give you an example. My brother is currently a server at the local bar in our hometown. It's a really great bar. It's a little pub. Everyone loves it though. They have a staff appreciation party that starts at 6 o'clock, where a couple of their staff members will work, but they also have guest bartenders. And all the staff comes in for about an hour and a half to 2 hours to that bar. The bar kind of closes down for a couple hours, and they get to have their fun. They do the Secret Santa party and whatnot. And then afterwards, the staff is able to invite new people, invite their friends and family into the party as well. Then the restaurant opens back up with full food, full drink, and the bar actually turns a good profit during that night. And it's a fun party because you get your staff appreciation party in there where the employees get to have some fun, but then they get to be inclusive and bring in their friends and family, and everyone has a really good time. I hope, Megan, I hope that answers your question. I've always found that staff appreciation parties are best done on-site, but again, it really depends on, you got to know your staff pretty well and know what gets them ticking. Maybe they'd be more interested in doing something off-site and getting out of the restaurant. All right, guys, if you have any more questions or if there's anything you'd like to discuss with us, please give us a shout. You can reach us at the email sales@taphunter.com. Also, feel free to click on the link and find out more information. If you'd like one of our service representatives to reach you and give you some type of personal feedback, maybe you're in a different situation, or maybe some of the things you learned today don't necessarily apply to you, there's always a solution to what you're looking for. Let us know. We're here to help. Thank you so much, and happy holidays, guys.